Easy. There we go. That feels lovely, Ed. I know. All the stuff that gets buried underneath here. The lumbar 1 vertebrae has, that like been smooshed, right? And so the discs here, these two discs, more, and then the pressure on the spinal cord, that right there is what has sensation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right. How'd that feel?
Oh my gosh, I felt the crack.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what happened. You said you had a car accident back in when so you're 24 now.
When I was 21.
21,
yeah.
had a car accident. As best you can, what do you remember?
I was in my hometown and I was the passenger in, a vehicle, and we're just speeding super fast down a dead-end street. They didn't know it was a dead-end street or anything, and the car totaled and we hit a rock.
And when you got out of the car, did you know how your spine felt? Were you in pain at all?
Yeah, I was experiencing a lot of back pain. I could tell right away.
Gotcha.
My back. I remember I had to learn how to walk again and go through that process.
Wow.
But I was walking again pretty quickly within a week or two,
Okay. And they told you burst fracture of L1, right?
They actually didn't tell me right away. I
that?
didn't know it was a burst fracture until I had the MRI done.
How much later was that from the accident?
Probably a year or so.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was so severe. I thought it was they told me just a compression fracture,
Gotcha. So we have 5 lumbar vertebrae, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The lumbar vertebrae, their job, along with the disc, is to support open these holes that the nerves pass through. And so the actual vertebral body got compressed hard enough that it actually cracked and is, sandwiched the actual bone in here. Beautiful lumbar curvature in your lumbar. These discs, L5, 4, 3, and 2, look beautiful. Well, I'll show you in a second. And then the vertebrae above the injury look wonderful. So you have a lot of life in your spine. So you've seen, like I said, these are the beautiful L5.
Wow.
Looking to our left, that's L5 disc, L4 disc, L3, L2, lumbar 1, the 5, 4, 3, 2. The lumbar 1 vertebrae has, that like been smooshed, right? And so the discs here, these two discs, more, and then the pressure on the spinal cord, that right there is what has sensation. And that's what the worry is that we don't want to continue compressing that and shifting that more towards your spinal cord.
So what do you think would happen if this were to compress and compress and compress?
It would cause more what we call nerve pressure. So you're going to start hitting the nerves that wrap around either to your groin or even just around to the front, your abdominal area.
Oh my gosh.
We call them dermatomes. These nerves go to a certain section of your body. And so when the discs start either hitting on the nerve root or in the spinal cord, numbness, I think, would be the first kind of sensation. Either things are going tingling, something's, you're feeling losing sensation somewhere. That would be the first worry that I would have. The spinal cord actually has no feeling, just like your brain has no feeling. And so when you start putting pressure on it, the spinal cord just gets damaged and then the signals don't get sent properly. Oh. So that would be the worry, is that you want to not hit that spinal cord. And it's kind of the whole purpose of your spinal column is to protect it. That's why the spinal column got injured. Yeah. It took the force, and your spinal cord thankfully was not hit, but the spinal column got damaged. And the good news is, like I said, you have, I would say something like, there's 2 discs that are injured, there's 23 discs in your spine, so really 21 discs are not injured and 2 are. And so we can either focus on the injured ones and cry, or we can, hey, we got 21 other discs in your spine that, let's get them working as best as possible.
Sure. Yeah.
Is there pain when I touch that?
No.
How about? No. But when you feel like I said, when you're lifting, you feel it more down at the waistline, down lower, or do you think it's in that area?
I think it's more in my hips, down lower.
Down lower. You're not too bad. A little bit, just a tiny bit head forward. But yeah, you have a beautiful curve in your lumbar, beautiful curve in your neck. I would really just, we want to get your shoulders back a little bit and keep your body upright. Okay. But it's just many times the front side has no feeling, and so it just feels better sometimes to round forward to take the weight off those joints in your lower back, and then the muscles get tight as a result of our posture shift. So
it's better to lean forward?
no.
Oh, it's better
We
to...
want to be upright, but it's
Okay.
it's an avoidance. So when your back is upright, it should be soft. But when I lean forward, feel how it gets tight?
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
tension when
I
you
feel it.
bend forward. Just roll to your side for a minute. Just roll to your side.
This way?
Yes, perfect. And have you just lay back on your back for me. You okay? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. Real easy. Here we go. Exhale. Yeah, deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. Easy, easy. There we go. We'll go deeper in a second. I just want to see how you're doing with
Okay.
some light adjustments. We'll go
Yeah.
deeper. I got you. Last side for me. Good. Last side. Exhale. Let's go face that for me. Face that. Big knot on this right side. Big bump here on the right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll show you. That's where the bones are level. Just a little bit, about 5-10 degrees to the right. I got to get you to get to center. Easy, easy. There you go. 1 point. I got you. There you go. There we go. Easy. There we go. You okay? All right. Feel free to you're always welcome to say go harder or softer. I'm getting to know you a little bit. We're getting used to being. I know you've been worked on quite a bit, but I just. There we go.
The pressure feels good. So.
Okay. All right. That knot right there. I would start off care far away from the injured area. What was I saying? I push harder when I'm far away from the injury, and then when I get close to the injury, I don't go so hard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the more you're worked on, the vertebrae right adjacent to it need to be working well because they're going to be wanting to quit also, and so that needs to not happen as best as possible. Your practitioners need to be aware that the areas right next to the injury areas also were injured, even though they didn't have a fracture. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
They're injured also, but whether we can, at the very least, the joints are. You understand? It wasn't just like 1 or 2 vertebrae. The other vertebrae around, but let's say they got injured at half the level or 1/3 the level, but they still got injured. And then as you get farther and farther away from that injury site, there's less and less injury. Does that make sense? It's like a crater or a bomb that went off. The closer you are to ground zero, the more damage that happened, and as you got farther away, there was less. But just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And that's, especially joint injury, we really can't see that to a high level of or any real level of certainty on MRI. We can see the discs, we can see the bone, but when there's inflammation or pain in the joint, it's not really perceptible on the imaging. So we're left to just based on symptoms. That's why I was asking a lot of questions about how it felt when you lift. That kind of tells me, is that joint upset? Or maybe it was upset and then it just stiffened up. So like I asked, so when you had the car accident, you said, oh no, there was a lot of pain. That probably was the joint, right?
Yeah.
You're saying
Yeah.
right at the time of the accident, the area right next to the disc and the bone was upset. This is a washout. Shouldn't hurt.
Okay.
There's already a mark right here.
Yeah, I have sensitive skin.
It's what's underneath. Eventually what happens is
Okay.
no mark comes out. When there's something trapped underneath, that's what creates the mark.
Interesting.
The mark won't come out everywhere, only when there's something underneath, stiffness, injury. I'm going real gentle here. The marks come out pretty dark right there at the top.
So that means there's lactic acid.
Lactic acid, stiffness, yeah. And then the result of this is that the lower neck works too hard. So it's tightness of the upper neck, which is supposed to be the main functioning part, main engine of your neck. This area gets stiff. The lower neck overworks. That makes your neck go straight. Your head goes forward. 26, everything hardens. And then you're in the wrong position. And then we have to spend a lot more time and money fixing you when you're in your 30s, when everything's hard. I got your head, I promise. Won't drop it. I got you. Easy, easy. Relax here. Let it go. There it is. Good. Yep. All right? Yeah. All right. I got your head. Relax this side right here. Let it go. There you go. Perfect. So when I look at your back from the top here, this is a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch higher on the left. The worry so we have the original injury here on the left. The compensatory injury is going to be the right lower. So this area on the right lower is going to overwork because essentially you're going to lean to your right to get away from this. Yeah, right there. So you've had some level of work like this, or just a lot lighter, or have people dug in here before?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. Okay. Yeah, a little bump right there. I know the focus was always on the vertebral body and the disc, but at the same time that the vertebral body and the disc got injured, the joint got injured, and I can feel the joint swollen. There's a restriction, and rightfully so. They got injured, right? They got punched in the face, and they said, we have to stiffen ourselves up because she might get another accident. So they're gonna want to go into what I call guard mode, protective mode in anticipation of another injury. Yeah, I suspect this area, as a result of that injury, has just tightened up, protecting itself, and it's kind of what most Americans go through. But in your scenario, my worry would be that it happens at a faster rate because of the injury. You understand? The tightening and stiffening that eventually causes sciatica because this gets stiff and people overwork their lower back. Now you actually have a real injury up here that's going to stiffen this even faster than it's like typically happens, which then leads to wearing out of your L5. So at whatever capacity is practical, we want to keep this moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to what I can ask from it yet. As we come down and get closer to the injured area, we'd have to kind of, you got to let me know what it feels like. And, Ed, I can't handle it. And you go back, and then you run away. And you go back up here. But plenty of, benefit and work to be done right up here. Yeah, right here on that left side. This is where most of your care to me should be, right up here. This right side's already, it's doing what I'm asking it to do, and the left side is not. So I'm not going to spend as much. I'm not going to spend as much time over here because this side's already, it's functioning the way it's supposed to. Right there is going to be a mark. That's where I'm. The most restricted area has the poorest circulation. It's been the tightest for the longest, and that's where the most buildup occurs inside. And again, the more your body leans away from that injury, the more the shoulders are going to get worse, right? So that's why I've been told to keep your shoulders back. It keeps the joints engaged on the back part of the spine that were also injured as a result of the injury, right? They also got injured, but they didn't get labeled as injured because we couldn't see it. We couldn't quantify it like we could the vertebral body and the discs. There. Ooh. Yep. There you go. That feels lovely, Ed. I know. All the stuff that gets buried underneath here. You okay? Shouldn't hurt. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. And then not only the joints between the vertebrae, but where the ribs attach to the side of the vertebrae. So you'll see in your video there's two kind of injuries. There's the rib, the vertebrae where they connect, the vertebral joints, and then there's the rib head joints out here, more lateral, that are also injured. This is the joint that we're trying to loosen when you're on your side, called the sacroiliac joint. The more work we get this joint doing, the more stress we take off of where you're, feeling discomfort in your lower back. So we're trying to loosen this area. There shouldn't be any soreness in here. Sitting, like I said, you you do a lot of driving, a lot of computer work probably. Yeah, so even when we're sitting, if we can try to, probably need some support in your lumbar. You can't be rounding to the shape of this seat. That's usually what gets us in trouble. All right, easy. I'm just gonna roll. There we go. Sorry, I'm gonna do this. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Just some local discomfort there when I push, or how does that feel? Let me know. How does that?
A little discomfort, yeah.
Just where I'm pressing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does it change much, say, from up here, or is it more?
Yeah, it's fine up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it correlates with where the most mark was. The most kind of lactic acid is right in there, and so how much of that discomfort actually is the injury underneath, or like I said, it's most likely just the surface level joint and soft tissue up here at the top that's inflamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Is this how they usually adjust you for, sort of face down like this?
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. How'd that feel?
Oh my gosh, I felt the crack.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
It hurts when you get right to
Uh-huh.
it. I can definitely tell.
Have you had that adjusted before? Has that been moved before?
I don't.
So.
Right at the site of injury, no.
Because I was right over it, yeah.
I was always anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Well, again, it's kind of a. You gotta let us know. You gotta let the practitioner know. You understand?
Yeah, I will.
You wanna.
Okay.
I don't think you need to be that scared of it. I would be, I'm gonna say, aware of it, and we take it at a light level and work deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to, for the sake of the lower back, we have to keep this moving, and maybe this area won't have any of it, right? So then we have to have this area do extra work to make up for this. Does that make sense? So it's who's going to be a part of this team long term. Have you been doing any extension stretching, meaning laying on your back and arching back? Has anybody asked you to do that at the higher part of your back or anywhere?
Yeah, I've tried to do bridges.
Like laying on your back and just doing it, but not any type of like passive stretching where you're just relaxed. You're just using the weight of your chest, not so much.
really.
Okay, all right, we're gonna give that a shot. We'll start up here at the upper back, and then we'll try to bring it down, inch by inch, and see how you can handle it. And I wish I had a crystal ball. It's kind of trial and error with this spine. You got to kind of run a test and see how upset you get with me, and then based on that we can know what to expect. And
Yeah, I feel knots down here too. Knots everywhere.
You're doing great. You're doing great. There we go. I got you. I got you. Relax your foot. There you go. Okay. Relax your foot. Relax. Okay. Relax your ankle. There you go. You've injured this guy right here. What'd you do to this toe?
I injured it?
I'm saying it's all stiff. This toe.
Oh,
These
I
all.
crack it a lot. I crack it left.
You do?
Yes.
You pop this guy a
Yes,
lot?
but the right one, not so much. It's
Yeah.
not as easy.
Yeah, you take it easy on this poor joint. It's been inflamed.
Oh, really?
Well, it's all stiff. This one's.
I don't know why.
They're all moving. This guy. It's not that it needed to click. It's just it feels stiff. When I ask it to bend, it's got like a tightness in there. Very nice.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness.
That left, that's where that left side is. That's where it's all. I know it didn't feel like that when I was working on it. He's like, dude, was it going to hurt? I'm like, well, did you feel it? It should just become kind of lighter flushing color. Does that make sense? Like down here, when you see that darkening, that's lactic acid trapped. So that injury didn't just injure what we can see on the MRI. It didn't just do, that's where the disc,
Yeah.
it didn't just injure this, but these got injured. You're saying the muscles up here,
I see.
the joints, we're up at the level here, and that interacts with the nerves more than that's going to interact. So keeping this area moving as best we can, not letting this just want to, this is curving beautifully down here, but then this is going to want to, you're almost going to want to round there, and we want to stop that as much as possible, not let you, round in there. So we're going to start higher. I'd start maybe up here above the injured area, see how well you can handle some arching back, and then the idea would be to eventually bring it close to it and see how well you can handle pressure on it.
Oh, okay.
Right there. And then you're just going to kind of press into yourself there a little bit, and then press back with your elbow into me. There we go.
Oh, I go against you? Or
You're going to move backwards with
Okay,
your elbow.
backwards.
I got you there. Press back. It's okay. Press back with your elbow. There you go. Yeah. Go ahead and tilt your head left for me. It's a little click.
Mm.
There we go. Go ahead and tilt to the left for me. It's okay. Yep. Go ahead and tilt to the right. It's okay. There we go. Go ahead and tilt to the right. Tilt right. Okay, it's okay. There you go. There you go. You okay?
Yeah.
So we got it pretty high, actually probably higher than, but that's okay. We want to start away from it, and then the idea this device you're not really meant to move around on it, but you could army crawl, kind of wiggle. It makes sense. You kind of wiggle your way, so so it moves downwards. Does that make sense? You'd have to kind of
like
you're gonna scoot upwards so that it'll there you go. You'll get the idea.
yeah,
And
kind
you just-
of.
And then
It's always a little awkward.
how's that feel in there?
It's good. It's good.
You want to see?
Should I keep going?
No,
Lower?
stay right there. Let's just stay right there.
Okay.
Let's just stay right there and see how you can handle it. Breathe. Relax your legs. There you go. Relax your knees. There you go. There you go. Relax.
Oh, the one I just did?
This is what you were laying on.
Okay.
But my point is that this is what it's supposed to look like. Being effortless and easy, not having any difficulty. And then you just gotta get off, roll to your side. That's how you get on and off it. But it's a piece of foam that emulates my thumb or my elbow, and it
Wow.
holds you in that curved position, taking the weight off the disc, that compression fracture. And again, it's seeing how well you can cope with it and then go deeper. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
kind of let me know. The first handful of visits is usually my, like I said, trial period, figuring out what you can handle. Stay right there. Okay, perfect, you got it. And relax your neck. Here you go, relax. Same principle. The lordosis arch in your neck is paramount for the long-term health of your spine, and that tightness in the upper neck is going to make the lower neck overwork, and that's going to make your head want to go forward over the next 10, 20 years. And even the injury in your back is going to rotate your shoulders forward, which then also angulates your head forward. So being aware of the drift forward and fighting it is really what we should have been told and learned at a young age. I usually see this on the back half. People come in at 50, 45, and I'm like, well, you should have been here 24,
Yeah, sitting on the
doing what I'm
computer
teaching you
and-
now.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, take a deep breath in for me. Head back for me. Deep breath in, I got you. Easy exhale. Easy, easy. There you go. Deep breath in. Exhale. Good, very good. Yeah, I like that. Has anybody gotten that to move before?
They
Little
don't
bit.
usually even try
They
to
don't
do
even
the
try.
mid-back or anything.
I think you can. I think the whole, come on for me, come on. I'm just saying, I think you can. I don't think there's anything, if that was, you would have told me, right? You would have punched me. You're saying if that was something that shouldn't be done,
Yeah,
you would have said, oh my, no thank you. We had you start here, I had you right over it. When I had that last part, I had you right over.
Okay, wow, that's good.
I had you right over it. So the lowest part would be like that. If your bottom is off the ground, you're too low.
Okay.
If you notice your butt is, you know, if this is
Okay.
so, I would
Okay.
stop with the thumb part right over that. And because you have a nice lumbar curve, we're not really doing this for the restoration of curve. We're doing it to keep that area loose,
Okay.
right? And to not let that area round you forward,
I see.
right? So we're doing it primarily right over that lumbar 1, T12 area, because to me, your tendency is going to want to be that you just pop that area out, and then this is where you're going to want to age, is with this popped up.
You look so funny.
understand?
Yeah,
Because-
okay.
Because these joints are inflamed, and so we want to keep that pressure here to keep you upright and not. Again, you're young enough that and the nerves aren't damaged in there, so that your body's not needing to run away from them yet. So,
That's good.
all right,
Yeah. I'll try the neck one too. But
yeah,
thank you so
I'll get you
much.
both. Yep. All right, thank you.
You did really well. You
Thanks.
did great.